This is John Paul Rye. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Want to go over this tweet that Brian McPherson, also known as Incredibly Average, retweeted, and it says Amber Heard is refusing point blank to provide any documentary of her arrest records. Funny, she wanted all of his, but doesn't see fit to turn hers over. And as we know, her arrest records, one of the ones that stands out, because she's got more than one, is the one where she abused her ex. Or assaulted her ex. You know, it was a physical assault. Which is actually very relevant to the case and the proof that she is an abuser, but of course, she doesn't want to use that. So, let's take a look at this document, which states that. Here we see it. Mr. Depp's second RFP number 7 seeks documents sufficient to show Ms. Heard's prior arrest records. Although she moved to compel arrest records from Mr. Depp in September 2019, Ms. Heard has refused point blank to provide any documents in response to RFP number 7, asserting that her prior arrests are not admissible at trial and therefore are not discoverable. Ms. Heard is incorrect. The scope of discovery is obviously broader than that which is admissible at trial and extends to any matter not privileged which is relevant to the subject matter of the action. Here, Mr. Depp contends that Ms. Heard was the true abuser in their relationship, and her past records of arrest certainly have a potential tendency to shed light or disclose evidence in support of that claim. Moreover, Ms. Heard has now filed a counterclaim for, among other things, defamation. And as Ms. Heard herself specifically argued in her motion to compel Mr. Depp's arrest records in a defamation case, prior acts that bear on a plaintiff's character and modus operandi are regularly deemed relevant. Citing Schaefer vs. Time from, looks like, 1998. Given Mr. Depp's contention that Ms. Heard engaged in violent behavior which she tried to cover by falsely accusing him, the appropriateness of RFP 7 is undeniable, and I completely agree. I don't see how anybody in their right mind could say that Amber Heard's prior arrests aren't relevant. It's just factually logical that this is very connected to the case. So here's a tweet I found to be pretty accurate. No, because Amber believes anything Johnny has done since he's a toddler is relevant, but she doesn't have to provide anything because she said so, and how dare he forgetting she also needs more than Russian bots as her defense, but she's lost the plot of her own case. And yeah, I mean, think about the Sun case. She's saying that, supposedly Johnny said he was going to put the dog in the microwave. That's relevant to the case? Johnny's drug use? Wrecking a hotel room? Nothing to do with it. And here she thinks that something that's completely relevant is irrelevant. Again, if you think that's correct, you really need to have your head examined. This next tweet by Sam: refuses to provide history of arrests, refuses to provide documentation verifying charitable donations, tries objecting Depp's request for photo, etc., experts, tries getting private order, tries getting dismissals, etc., and so on and so forth, equals I want everything and I'll give you nothing. So by the way, Sam has got this new little Johnny is innocent border that's going around, so kind of cool. Here's the thing, when I see things like this, with plain logic, with real undisputable logic, it really boggles my fucking mind how people can defend Amber Heard on any level. I mean, you gotta think, people who work at the Sun saw this. People who work at the court must have seen this. It's just like 100% logic here, that if you say you want to see someone's background, little details, smear little things, but you don't want to show your relevant background, that's really hypocritical. So, I want to follow Incredibly Average as much as I can, because as you guys know, he hasn't been publishing videos, but he's been active on Twitter quite a lot, so I think it's good to highlight what he highlights, and he's usually making a pretty good point. He doesn't beat around the bush. He doesn't ever really get into cases that aren't involved, or I should say issues that aren't involved like I do sometimes. So it's good to keep up on him. And it's also good to keep throwing the proof out there. And I'll be honest, a lot of people come around here and say, well, I don't want to use YouTube anymore. I don't want to use corporate stuff anymore. use BitChute, stuff like that. But to be honest, guys, YouTube's been pretty damn good. My channel now is on 4.3 million views, and about 3.7 million of those views are criticizing Amber Heard. Yes, most of the videos, maybe 75%, got demonetized, limited monetization, but they didn't block me. They didn't take off the videos. They didn't say I couldn't do it. So because of YouTube now, 3.7 million people have heard me criticize Amber Heard. And a lot of those people have read your comments criticizing Amber Heard. And a lot of those comments, or I'm going to say like 95%, have not been positive, with the occasional defender here and there. So if you're going to think something like, oh, I don't know, we got to get off YouTube, it's not so good, I think it's been not so bad. I think in this case, and you're seeing this video now, and hopefully somebody for the first time is watching this video and saying, yeah, that makes sense, man. I can't believe Amber is like that. And then they dig more into it, and then there you go. You got one more supporter for the cause. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think down below. Do a shout out now that I got my phone. Shout out to Lily McQueen, who is also a member here, and that is much appreciated, and your name is now in the credits. Thank you. Shout out to David Lewis. See you here all the time. The comments are much appreciated. And if you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shout outs. Special thanks. Deaf First Heard. Little Meghan Markle. Pretty soon I'll get to one of those. Pop culture. Whatever comes up. If you don't subscribe, I'll be pretty sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.